Hi, it's Krista and Lisa, and welcome to our channel, Farmhouse Rose Co. And today we're going to show you 3 sparkly extra fabulous Farmhouse Christmas DIYs. DIY number 1 is my response to people that think Christmas is too sparkly, and this sign really kind of embodies my thought about it. The supplies that we use for this DIY includes a plaque sign from Dollar Tree, a paint marker, some scrapbook paper, and a stamp set from Target, some Mod Podge, some holographic glitter, chalk paint, and some twine. We're going to paint our sign with a wine-colored chalk paint and distress it with white chalk paint. Now we're going to take a chalk pencil, and we're using a chalk pencil first because it's more forgiving, and we're going to write, "Christmas is too sparkly, said no one ever," and then once we have it where we want it, we're going to go over it with our paint marker. Now we're going to take our stamp set, and it has a really cute star on it, and we're going to place the stars wherever we think it would look nice. And then we're going to take some Mod Podge over our letters and put some holographic glitter on them to make them more sparkly. Now we're going to create a border around our sign using some white chalk paint. We just did this to give our sign a more finished look. Now we're going to use our gold scrapbook paper and just trace it and cut it out and glue it onto the star that we stamped on our sign to make it look more realistic. We're gonna add even more like blingy bedazzliness to our sign by adding some of this twine that looks like a string of lights. Now we're going to take some ribbon and create a hanger for our sign. And then we're going to take the same ribbon that we used for the hanger and create a simple bow to glue on top of the hanger. Since we didn't think our sign had enough on it, we decided to add some greenery, some frosted berries, and like one of the wooden stars from Dollar Tree, just to give it a little extra blinginess because, you know, that's how we roll. And this is how our adorable sign turned out. We think it has just the right amount of sparkle. DIY number 2 is the sign for a hot cocoa bar. Hot cocoa has always been a big thing growing up. Like, we'd always have it once it got cold out, and it's always been part of our Christmas tradition, and we always have hot cocoa and cookies on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. The supplies you'll need for this DIY includes a wood sign, some chalk paint, a paint marker, and a Sharpie. So when we first began doing this sign, we originally were going to paint it light gray and use a black paint marker, but my paint marker wasn't working. It was like really dry and weird, so I ended up going with some black chalk paint and using a white paint marker and making it look like a chalkboard sign. The one thing about doing DIYs and crafting is that you have to roll with it, because sometimes things don't always go the way you planned, but they sometimes turn out better than you could have imagined. Once our chalk paint has dried, we're going to take a piece of chalk and scribble over it and kind of like smudge it with our fingers to make it look like a real chalkboard. And we're going to take our paint marker and write the word hot cocoa. And then we're going to go ahead and use a chalk pencil to write like any other like sayings or embellishments that we want to add to our sign. Now you could probably use like a white Sharpie or something, but I was just using what I had on hand. Now we're going to take some wood planks, but you could use any kind of like rectangular object, and we're going to create a border around our sayings that we have on our sign, and we're just going to take a gold chalk writer and trace it around the words to kind of give it like an extra like finished look. We decided to take an extra step further, and we're going to use our paper punch and create little snowflakes, because when we think of like hot cocoa and drinking hot cocoa, you think of like a snowy day and like being really chilly and like under a blanket, like watching Hallmark movies or something on Netflix. Once we decide where we want our snowflakes, we're just going to glue them into place. Now we're going to add some snowflake ribbon from Dollar Tree. We just wanted to give it a more sparkly look to keep it fabulous. And here's how our beautiful sign turned out. It's a perfect addition to any cocoa bar. We're definitely going to be using it for ours. DIY number 3 is a Christmas Baking Crew apron sign. This one is perfect for anyone that's getting ready to start baking Christmas cookies like we are in the next few days. The supplies you'll need for this DIY includes a Christmas tag sign from Dollar Tree, a drawstring bag from Walmart, some stencils from Dollar Tree, some chalk paint, and some painter's tape. So we're going to go ahead and take a pencil and just draw out the top of the apron, and we're going to take some painter's tape to section off the part that we want to paint first. So we're going to paint the majority of the apron white, and then like the underneath part of the apron that's left over, we're going to paint that gray. Once we've painted the white part of our apron, we're going to go ahead and take our painter's tape off and we're going to paint the rest of it. Now we ended up doing a light gray color, but it was too close to the color of the white, so we ended up adding some Elephant by Waverly to give it more contrast. Now we're going to distress the white part of the apron using Truffle by Waverly. So now we're going to work on the pocket for the apron. It wasn't long enough vertically, so we turned it horizontal and cut off the drawstring part of the bag, and then we folded it in half and cut it straight down the middle. And then once we did that, we hot glued the unfinished edge on the one side to give it a more finished look, and then glued it into place. Now we're going to take our stencil from Dollar Tree and we're going to use a dabber and some red paint to spell out the word Christmas, and then we're going to do baking in green and crew in black. Now we're going to use another stencil that we got from Dollar Tree, and we're going to do a red and green oven mitt. And then once we have them in place, we're going to go ahead and take a fine tip Sharpie and create little lines to make it look like they're hanging down from the letters. And then we decided to create a rolling pin and a wooden spoon that are also sticking out from the apron. Now we're going to take our Sharpie and write Krista on the green mitt and Lisa on the red mitt. And then we took some ribbon and created a simple bow and added it to one of the straps of the apron. And then we just created a hanger for our sign. And here's how our beautiful sign turned out. It's going to be a perfect addition to our kitchen during holiday baking season. Thank you for joining us today for our 3 sparkly extra fabulous Farmhouse Christmas DIYs. If you're already subscribed to our channel, thank you for your support. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please consider doing so. Every subscriber, comment, and like helps our channel to grow and for YouTube to notice us a little bit more. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Talk to you guys next time. Bye for now.